Star Trek. Section 31's disappointment is secretly great for the upcoming prequel movie. When Star Trek Section 31 premiered, expectations were sky high. After years of careful world building and discovery, and the ripple effects of the post-Enterprise era, fans were ready for a dark, morally ambiguous espionage thriller set in Starfleet's shadowy underbelly. Instead, many walked away disappointed. Critics cited a meandering plot, underdeveloped characters, and a tone that wavered between procedural thriller and sci-fi melodrama. But here's the twist. This perceived disappointment may be the best thing that could have happened for the franchise's next Star Trek project, a prequel movie exploring the roots of Section 31 itself. The key lies in narrative opportunity. By leaving so many questions unanswered, the series has inadvertently built a fertile playground for filmmakers. Section 31 has always been shrouded in mystery, operating just beyond the moral and legal boundaries of Starfleet. The show touched on some of its operations and hinted at its bureaucratic reach, but it didn't fully explore the organization's origins or its internal politics. This gap is now a canvas. The disappointment of the series has primed fans to crave the story they were promised but never got, making the anticipation for a prequel movie potentially explosive. Consider the timing. The series, though flawed, reminded audiences that Section 31 is an enigma, an organization both within and outside the Starfleet we thought we knew. A prequel movie set decades before the show could explore the genesis of Section 31 during the height of interstellar tension. Imagine the Cold War-like intrigue among the Federation, Klingon Empire, and Romulan Star Empire. By focusing on the organization's early days, the movie can explore the moral compromises Starfleet was willing to make for survival, something the series only hinted at. This isn't just storytelling. It's world-building gold, made possible precisely because the TV show left so much unexamined. Another advantage of the series' shortcomings is character development, or rather, the freedom to reinvent. Fans criticize the show for underwhelming character arcs, but that's a silver lining. A prequel movie isn't shackled by previous portrayals or narrative missteps. It can introduce fresh faces, including the architects of Section 31, while offering subtle nods to familiar figures. This is a chance to craft morally complex protagonists from the ground up, exploring their motivations, rivalries, and ethical dilemmas in a concise, cinematic format. A tight movie structure allows for richer character exploration than a show stretched over multiple episodes that struggled to find its tone. The disappointment also works in marketing favor. In the wake of fan frustration, the prequel can be positioned as the redemption story, the Star Trek movie that finally gives Section 31 the depth and sophistication it deserves. Hints of unexplored lore, teased in the series but never fully realized, can be leveraged to generate buzz. Every unanswered question from the show becomes a hook for the movie. Fans will watch not because the series succeeded, but because it failed to satisfy their curiosity, creating an eager, engaged audience ready to see the story done right. Even thematically, the prequel has room to explore territory that the series avoided. Section 31 embodies the tension between ideals and pragmatism, a recurring theme in Star Trek, but rarely explored with such moral grayness. A movie can dig into these philosophical questions without the constraints of weekly episodic pacing. What is Starfleet willing to sacrifice to protect the Federation? How do operatives reconcile loyalty with conscience when every mission challenges their ethical code? The failure of the series to fully engage with these ideas leaves a vacuum that a well-crafted prequel can fill, elevating the concept from procedural thrill to intellectual intrigue. Finally, there's a meta advantage. By acknowledging the series' disappointment without ignoring it, the movie can subtly embrace fan skepticism, even play with it. Star Trek has a history of meta-awareness, episodes and movies referencing past missteps or beloved lore in clever ways. The prequel can nod to fan complaints, turning former criticism into a strength, while proving that Section 31 deserves the depth and complexity Star Trek fans had always imagined. In effect, the series' shortcomings become a storytelling catalyst rather than a hindrance. In the end, disappointment is not failure. It's potential waiting to be realized. Star Trek Section May 31st have stumbled, but it left behind a tantalizing void. A prequel movie now has the rare freedom to explore Section 31's origins, moral ambiguity, and internal politics with cinematic precision. It can transform unanswered questions into dramatic tension, underdeveloped characters into unforgettable personalities, and fan frustration into excitement. What the series lacked in execution, the prequel can deliver in scope, intensity, and storytelling sophistication. The irony is delicious. Sometimes, the best way to build anticipation isn't through success, but through the frustration of unmet expectations. Star Trek Section